Ready? Okay. Good morning, Captain Anil Bristow. Welcome to the Montagne Posée Commission of Inquiry. Our mandate is to establish the truth regarding what happened at Montagne Posée prison on the 5th and 6th of December 2024. But also we are concerned about the events surrounding that incident. My name is Justice Alfred Mavedzenke. I'm the chairperson of the commission. Okay. You can't hear me?
Yes, a bit louder, please.
Okay, my name is Justice Alfred Mavedzenke. I'm the chairperson for the commission. And let me give the commissioners the opportunity to introduce themselves.
I am not here,
Judge.
Victor.
Then on our extreme left is our secretary for the commission, Ms. Chelsea Albest, who will administer the oath. Then we can take your evidence.
If you can kindly rise up, please. Are you a Christian or a believer?
Christian.
If you can lift up your right hand and repeat after me. I swear.
I swear.
By Almighty God.
By Almighty God.
That the evidence.
I shall give.
To this commission. Shall be the truth. The whole truth. And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you very much, Captain Anil Bristow. Whenever you can't hear me, just indicate. Whenever you can't hear me clearly. So I just want to remind you of a few rules that we use or that we would like you to adhere to this morning. We do this for all the witnesses who appear before us. So the first is for you to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, because we are interested in establishing the truth, as I mentioned earlier on, but also as you took an oath, you have sworn to the duty to share the truth. It is a criminal offense to deliberately withhold information from the commission, but it's also an offense to share false information with the commission. I would like to remind you to answer all questions as they are asked. Please avoid speculating the question. Just answer the question that has been asked by the commissioners. And in some cases, the commissioners may ask questions that look like they're repetition or that are actually repetition. Your obligation is just to answer the questions as they are put to you. In giving your evidence this morning, we would like to remind you that you have a duty to treat with respect every person that you are going to name in your testimony. Treat with respect the commissioners and the process. We also have a duty to treat you with dignity and respect. Then a reminder for everyone in the room that let us avoid interrupting proceedings. So that includes making sure that the mobile phones are completely on silent mode or they are switched off, and let us minimize movements in and out of the room. So, Captain, what we are going to do this morning is we are going to take turns to ask you questions. We will begin with Commissioner Vidot on my right, and then we will take it from there. Commissioner Vidot, you may proceed.
Good morning, Captain Bristow. Okay. Am I right in saying that you are a member of the SDF?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Since when have you been a member of the SDF?
2023.
Okay. And am I right in saying that from 2023 to now, you are the security officer of the former president, then president?
Yes, President Ramkalawan.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. And before when you joined the SDF in 2023, before that, what were you doing?
Ok, moi je travaille avec Président Ramkalawan.
I'm talking about before.
Second?
I'm
Yes,
talking about before.
Before 2023.
Okay.
Yes. Moi, je travaille avec le président Ramkalawan depuis qu'il est de l'opposition.
I worked with the President Ramkalawan since he was the leader of the opposition force.
Moi, je bouse avec lui, le président State House 2020.
I moved with him when he became president at the State House in 2020.
So, le temps moi, je travaille avec lui avant 2020, National Assembly.
So when I worked with him before 2020, it was while he was at the National Assembly.
From 2020 jusqu'à 2025, moi, je travaille avec lui State House.
From 2020 to 2025, I worked with him at State House.
Et ce qu'on l'a moi attaché avec lui.
Until now, I
former president.
am attached with him at the office of former presidents.
So prior to joining the SDF, you had no training, military training.
Military training before I joined SDF, non.
Okay.
Mais seulement moi, je suis de la police et moi, j'ai fait plusieurs trainings. CCL et à l'étranger.
But I was in the police force and I followed several training, even in Seychelles and abroad.
Yeah. And apart from being the secretary for the former president, you're also in charge of a group of military officers. They are commonly known as the Ibu team, which obviously you have a different name.
Sir, si nous commençons aujourd'hui là, moi je peux préférer avec respect pour commissioners, nous adresser à team comme special ops.
No.
We had to talk about this with due respect to the commissioners. I would like that the team be addressed as special ops.
I'm telling you that this is the common name that is associated with that group of military officers.
Moi comprends, mais seulement ça, mon travail avec aucun team qui appelle team Ibu, mon travail avec un team qui appelle special ops.
I
Pas team
understand,
Ibu.
but I never worked with any team that goes by the name of Ibu. I worked with a team that goes by the name of Special Ops.
And that team of officers, apart from the presidential security, they had another role.
Ok, Simon explique sa team qu'ils ont fait State House.
Now I'm
If I
asking you.
explain the duty
sorry.
of the team at State House,
I'm asking you whether they had another role. You tell me yes or no.
Yes, et mon capable explique quelle était le rôle de Chana.
and I can explain what kind of role that is.
And that role, is it to do with drug, fighting of drugs in the country?
Yes, so moi, il y a une explication qui vient avec, c'est que mon capable permettre moi pour expliquer s'il vous plaît.
Yes, but there is an explanation that comes with it. If I may be permitted to explain, please.
Sa team, tu as créé pour venir faire des ouvrages State House.
It was created for 2 jobs at State House.
Sa ouvrage QRT, Quick Response Team.
This was the job of QRT, which was the Quick Response Team.
QRT est un team qui marche avec le président pour aller si en cas aucune situation est développée.
And this is a team that goes where the president goes in case of any situation that develops.
Après, deuxièmement, bon head of state qui vient de Cécile,
And then secondly, with the head of state that comes to Seychelles,
qui a tiré par la police et mis par Presidential Security Unit.
which was removed under the police and placed under presidential unit.
Et sa team qui est responsable pour tout head of state qui vient de Cécile.
And this team are responsible for all of the head of states that comes to Seychelles.
Troisièmement, quand tu peux cause côté narcotique,
Thirdly, when to talk about narcotics,
tu as un bon instant pour la police, tu peux faire l'opération narcotique.
there were instances whereby the police were carrying operations that were related to narcotics,
So tu peux rouler avec militaire.
and they were seeking help from the military.
Et sa team tu available et préparé avec corps guard pour capable avec agent.
And that team was available and the one closest to the police station to be able to assist them.
Et sa team tu appelle special ops.
And that team was named Special Ops.
Special ops, I think.
Yes, sir.
Ops, yes.
Okay. And that team of military officers, did they ever have training in dealing, like police training, how to deal with narcotics and the fight against narcotics?
Plusieurs autres ont fait training pour narcotique dans le passé, oui.
Several.
Sorry.
Several of them had done training for narcotics in the past.
Et même mon temps qui m'a gagné à pointer comme capitaine.
And even during the time that I was appointed as captain,
il y a un plusieurs training qui ont envoyé from headquarters pour à l'atteindre overseas.
headquarters sent them for overseas training, several overseas training for them to attend.
And that group of officers, who did they report to?
Sa team qui n'a pas special ops. Les autres peuvent faire l'ouvrage cruelty avec head of state, autres 100% en bas mon commande.
The team that is called Special Ops, while they were doing the job of QRT and
Head of state.
Head of state.
Protection for head of state.
Protection for head of state. They were under my direct command.
100%.
100%.
Et les autres fait troisièmement, qui assisté la police qui a narcotique.
And when they were assisting the police with narcotics,
Whoever qui te call, qui te besoin des autres, qui te va commander ça du monde.
whoever called needing them, they were placed under the command of that individual.
Were you answerable to the SDF?
Sorry, sir.
Were you answerable to the SDF?
And cerebral.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if the SDF says that you did not report to them, whatever that you were doing was unknown to them, would that be correct?
Non, ça pour faux.
This would be false.
But we've had evidence here whereby from the SDF who says that you were not reporting to them at all.
Avec SDF, rapport qui gagne fait.
Reports were done to the SDF.
Et tous les lundis bon matin, il y a un meeting qui commandant safety fait, qui tient que les commissionnaires de la police avec CDF ça l'état.
And every Monday morning there would be a meeting held that included the Commissioner of Police and the Commissioner de la Police avec
CDF.
And CDF.
Forces. Et tout bon rapport, tout bon défi qui gagne mettre la table.
And all of the reports, all of the challenges was placed on the table.
So what you're telling us right now is different from what the SDF would have been giving evidence to this commission.
Mon peut dire mon version qui c'est sincèrement la vérité c'est.
I am recounting my version, which is sincerely the truth.
And on the 5th and the 6th of December 2024, I am right in saying that you were not in the jurisdiction?
Yes, moi je quitte Seychelles le 5.
Yes.
Je tourne le 9.
I left Seychelles on the 5th and returned on the 9th.
Sorry, maybe before we move on to that one, I just have a few follow-up questions on what he asked earlier.
Commissioner, avec respect, mon pas beaucoup capable de voir l'aspect militaire, le live TV, mais seulement moi je fais le nécessaire et report avec headquarters, c'est premièrement l'enforce officer, chief of staff et chief Posée, moi je suis chain of command, definitely. Rapport qui gagne fait avec ça benji mon.
Commissioner, with respect, I will not be able to reveal the details of the military on air. But I did report to the land force officer, and I moved up to the chain of command and reported to the chief of staff as well.
Land force commander.
Land force commander.
Okay, and yes, we do appreciate that. We also don't expect you to go into details about information that may put the Republic in a security. You would get weapons from the SDF, isn't it?
Can you please say again?
Were you getting weapons from the SDF?
Report or?
Weapons, ammunition.
Les mouchigas ont pointé comme officer in charge for Presidential Security Unit.
When I was appointed as the officer in charge for the Presidential Security Unit,
Il y a un armory State House qui nous gagne accès avec.
there's an armory at the State House that we had access with.
Sa armory c'est pas mon full command.
And that armory was under my full command.
So mon pas besoin à headquarters pour avoir weapon.
So I did not need to go to headquarters to get weapons.
But tous les mois,
But every month,
Chene monthly weapon return qui tu gay fait pour envoyer headquarters.
There was a monthly weapons return that we did to send to the headquarters.
Tous les 6 mois,
Every 6 months,
tu as un team qui sorti headquarters qui vient faire l'inspection armory, Presidential Security Unit.
there was a team that came from headquarters to inspect the armory at the President Security Unit.
Les moji inspecte armory from 2 bullets, weapon, vest, everything in
When
the
I
armory.
say inspection of the armory, from bullets, weapons, vest, everything in the armory.
So you do confirm that you would account to the SDF
Yes, sir.
on the use of ammunition.
Yes, sir.
And how regular would you account?
Every month.
Every month.
Moi, tu envoie mon monthly weapon return tous les mois côté SDF. Admin officer, tu préparé. Moi, tu double check dans présence. Sign que ça armory. Et moi, tu sign, moi, tu fais à headquarters.
Every month, I sent my monthly weapon report, and I checked with the admin officer, and I prepared also and double checked before sending it.
Moi, tu double check avec sign que ça armory.
I double checked with the one that was in charge of the armory.
Sign après envoyer headquarters.
Sign and then sent it to headquarters.
So if anyone from SDF says you were not accounting on the use of weapons, they would be lying.
Yes, sir. Je pour cause la langue, c'est dit ça.
They would be lying if they said that.
This passe le record aussi.
Just to add on the record,
Tous les mois, nous tenons range session qui s'est déroulé.
every month we had range sessions.
Qui s'est déroulé.
Yes, we had range sessions.
Moi, tu envoie premièrement request headquarters.
I sent firstly the request to the headquarters.
Je t'ai approuvé.
They approved.
Moi, envoie mon un qui chasse mon armory.
I sent it to the one that is in charge of the armory
Par sa munition.
to go and collect the ammunition,
Ça est resté dans nos armory overnight.
and this remains in our armory overnight.
Lendemain, nous allons au range.
The next day we go to the range.
Nous conduct nos live exercise.
We conduct our live exercises.
Comment nous finissons le range, moi préparer un report.
As soon as we have completed on the range, I prepare a report.
Sign, stampé.
I sign and stamp it,
Moi envoie headquarters même jour même.
and I send it to headquarters the same day.
Okay.
Donc ça report, prendre des bonnes informations pareilles. Quand tu boulet nous servi, quand tu t'es resté, etc.
On that report would contain information about the amount of bullets that we used and how many was remaining,
Okay.
etc.
Then when you would confirm that you would get your manpower from SDF, the force, the members
Manpower
of
for
the,
PSU.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So can you explain to us the process of recruiting these soldiers from SDF?
Ok, premièrement, manpower pour venir de lo qui qualité de nous besoin.
Firstly, manpower would depend on what kind of people you need.
Et l'exemple besoin d'un driver.
For example, you would need a driver.
On envoie un request pour besoin d'un driver
You send a request that you need a driver.
qui pas des pas qualité driver, si messenger, si tactical.
Who
Depend
do you
on
send
what
this
kind of
request to?
driver.
From the chief of staff.
To the chief of
To
staff?
the chief of staff,
Okay.
yes.
Depends what kind of driver you need, whether messenger or tactical.
Sabon request vient lo email.
And these requests comes from emails.
Okay.
Je te réponds, nous t'envoie la liste de driver qui en a.
They reply and send you a list of drivers that are available that they have,
Qui qualifié dans domaine qu'on peut aider.
that have been qualified in the domain that you were seeking for.
From ça la liste,
From that list,
moi choisi 3.
I can pick 3.
Moi still double check the training
I still double check their trainings.
and choose one from there.
So when you say tactical, you mean soldiers, right?
Defense combat driving.
Okay. But what about when you need soldiers to become part of your team?
Yes.
How would you recruit them?
Same way.
Sam, so you would request from the chief of staff
Via email.
via email.
Yes.
Do you have some of these emails?
Moi pour n'a pas accès à email, mais sur mon DICT pendant tout accès à email State House.
I do not have access with these mails, but the ICT would have access to all these emails that were at State House
À cause de email l'État.
because it belonged to the state, these email.
So do you not? So you confirm that there is no instance where members of the special ops were recruited from the SDF through an instruction
Non.
to
No.
the
Pas jamais
chief
existé
of
ça.
defense?
It never existed that.
Il y a une formalité, par mon Dieu, email il gagne envoyé, il gagne approuvé, il vient team, sélection il gagne fait, ou double check sur le café à travail, après là qui nous forme team.
There is procedures, like I explained, the email has to be sent, it has to be approved, and then, excusez, c'est ça dernier bout.
Email approuvé, ou
Approuvé.
gagne team,
And you have a team,
mon double check,
and
moi,
I double check myself,
autres qualifications,
their qualifications.
après là que gagne choisi.
And then it's from there that they are selected.
So the approval is from who?
Chief of staff.
Chief of staff. Okay. What about discipline?
Discipline.
Yeah, discipline of the forces that are under your command. Did the SDF leadership have any powers to discipline them?
Of course, tout discipline, tout l'autre discipline qu'il faut de gagner pour headquarters qui take up.
Every discipline order that needed to be made, it was the headquarters that took it up.
Si dans mon team, moi pour dire N, puis ma discipline sur l'école,
If in my team I see that one is being wrongly disciplined,
il y a une procédure qui m'ont fait mon call headquarters.
there's a procedure that I do whereby I call the headquarters.
Ben statement il gagne fait,
Statements are made
et autres gars zizé les différents actions qu'il gagne fait.
and they are judged based on the different actions that had been done.
And do you recall any such cases?
N'a pas vraiment gros case à cause sa team qui travaille avec un team qui est vraiment discipliné.
There are no really big cases because the team that I worked with was a well-disciplined team.
Okay. I think I'll stop there in terms of the questions on accounting. Yep.
Good morning, Captain Busol.
Good morning, sir.
You said that there was a meeting that was done every Monday morning
Yes.
to talk about the weekly report.
Sa meeting, moi, tu n'as pas aucun c'est là-dedans. Ça, tu gagnes fait avec bon heads.
That meeting I did not have
Was
any say in
it
it. It was
because
done
the
with
Defense
the
Forces
heads.
Council?
No, not
No?
Defense Forces, tu gagnes fait every month.
Okay.
Defense
Or every
Forces
3 weeks, depend on situation.
Was
Okay.
held every month or every 3
Yeah,
weeks.
but this
depending
one
on the
meeting that you're
situation.
talking about was to deal with what?
Mon pas au courant.
I
Tu
am
gagnes
unaware.
dans meeting, sur mon magasin, il y a quelque chose pays. Si concerne commandant chef, son vice-président, et bon heads la force.
I'm thinking it's something to do with the country if it
Okay.
concerns the head of state, the head of the defense forces as well.
You said that there was this team, the Special Ops, that was a team that would be attached to State House, and it would come to State House to carry out certain specific duties on your request. Is that correct?
Sa team, tu gagnes créé par emoji pour faire l'ouvrage QRF
Yes.
avec takeover, bon head of state qui vient de pays.
That team was created, like I stated, to do the job of QRF and to take over for the heads of states that
So-
are in the country.
So, tu gagnes attaché avec State House,
So they were attached with State House
bah mon commande.
under my command.
Tu report, bah mon commande tous les jours.
They reported under my command every day.
Okay. But now, if you said they were attached to you, and they reported to State House every day, for what purpose? Because they had specific, as you said, they had specific
Specific
operations that was to deal with dignitaries, and if there was any drug issues, then they would be called.
Yes.
So why were they attached? Why were they at the State House every day?
Il plus facile logiquement.
It's easier logistically speaking.
Zot weapon tu gagnes envoyé pour quitter Armory State House.
Their weapons were sent and kept in the armory of State House.
Zou commandant chef fait déplacer ou connaît pour dire bon Jimouni là, zot available.
When the chief commander was moving, you know that the team was there available.
Mais aussi dans l'instant qui nous cherche bon head of state qui type call là pour là, tu as bon emergency, besoin land, zot take over.
And there were instances whereby the heads of states were calling in as a matter of urgency and they needed to land.
Après les autres ouvrages, tu as quelque chose que tu fais aussi, admin, training, etc., etc., etc.
After the normal duties, there were other duties, other things that they were doing, such as admin and training, etc., etc.
Après tout ça, l'ouvrage, il dépend de training et répétition.
After all, that job depends on training and repetition.
Okay. Am I right to say that there were two different armories in State House?
Yes, that's right.
One was the one that you were responsible of.
Tous les deux, moi, je suis responsable. Tout ça qui est State House, qui concerne SDF, moi, qui suis responsable.
Both of it I was responsible for, and everything that belongs to SDF, I was responsible for.
Ça, il
at
était
State House.
motivé captain jusqu'à là.
That
Okay.
was when I was appointed captain up till now.
Okay. Now, when you said that you were responsible for both, and earlier you said that the armory book always featured all the different weapons that was issued to people, live ammunition that was issued as well, and ammunitions returned to the armory. Is it correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I've got a paper here. On the 5th of December, 2024,
Okay.
weapons were issued and no bullets were accounted for.
5 décembre 2024.
Yes. And even on previous dates, on the 29th of November 2024, yes, the weapons were entered with the different names, but there was no ammunition that was issued to the people.
Le 5 décembre 2024, nous partis du pays.
The 5th of December
but what
2024,
about
I
the
was not in
29th
that
of
jurisdiction.
Seulement ça qui m'ont capable assurer au commissionnaire.
But what I can assure you, Commissioner,
Moi, il y a train là et moi quelque chose qui m'a insisté là.
that the officers has been trained in that regard, and something that I insist upon.
Le temps du plan de travail, weapon il y a pas, il y a signé dans livre.
When they are going to do an operation, the weapons are being taken and signed in the book.
Tout le monde line up dehors.
Everyone lines up outside.
The team leader il double check tout quelque chose.
The team leader double checks everything.
Et ça il répète même pareil, no matter what time is it, 2h, 3h, 4h bon matin.
And this is something that is repeated no matter the time, if it's 2 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning.
Line up,
They
double check, tout ammunition accountable.
They are lined up, double checked, and all ammunitions are accounted for.
Après qui retourne dans l'armoire.
And then afterwards, it is returned into the armory.
Okay, I understand. That's the procedure. The military procedure that you were making sure was working.
Yes, sir.
Now. But what I'm saying is, previously, in the year 2024, this was not happening.
Pas pourquoi, un document qui est court.
I would not be aware about the document you have.
But you were responsible for the armory.
Moi, je suis responsable armory, money weapon return, je gagne faire tous les mois, et tout quelque chose accountable.
I was
So
responsible for
were
the
you
armory.
being fed with wrong information that you didn't get?
Non, pas
No.
pour dire ça.
I would not say that.
But how could you have said that all the ammunition that was dispatched, was issued, was correct, when you did not have a proof of anything?
Proof que moi, il m'a obligé, que moi, double check tout quelque chose,
Proof that I had was my own eyes, whereby I double checked everything
avant moi, si ça money weapon return pour faire le bilan.
before I signed the monthly
Headquarters.
weapon return to
Yeah, but
send it to headquarters.
Did they ever bring you the book for you to check?
Ça, il pas mon ouvrage pour moi check dans le livre. Tu as
It's
un
not-
bon senior officers qui fait ça.
My job to check in the books. There
But-
were senior officers for that.
But still, every now and then, moi, tu passe, get dans le livre, checker, double check, faire si je peux faire l'ouvrage bien. That was my job.
But
So
still,
you
every
never
now
saw
and then, I
this
would pass
program?
by and check in the books, see if they are doing their jobs properly every now
Ça
and
bout
then.
de couper du mot les 5.
No, previous, even before the 5th. Here I've got the 29th of November, the 2nd of December, the 3rd of December. All of this, there's
Quelque
no...
fois, mon papa dit, qui m'a pas dit, ça coupe du mot, il mal ou bien.
I am not saying what you are telling me is wrong or
Ou
good.
besoin de bien date.
You need
Elle est, m'a donné l'exemple.
to check the dates properly and the time.
We'll let him finish to translate, then you can take
Okay,
it
sir.
from there. Yeah.
Et l'exemple, Sachin Special Ops, puis avec un head of state, de hausse le 13 novembre.
An example, the team special ops are going with the head of state to Deosh on the November.
Le 13 novembre.
13th of November as example.
Ou pas expecter ça weapon pour entrer dans l'armoire le 13 novembre à soir à cause de pécotien travail for 3 weeks.
You do not expect the weapon to enter into the armory the 13th of November, the night of the 13th of November, because they are carrying on their duties for 3 weeks.
Et les autres retournent, ça return pour venir nos différents passes de salir, pas le même passe.
And when they return back, the return would
very,
appear
very
on a
clear.
different
This
page on
we
the
know.
book.
But the problem is that not even before the people going to divorce, arms were issued, no bullets issued. This is what I'm trying to say. Even if they stayed with their rifles and their weapons for 3 months or 3 weeks, it did not feature when it came back.
Pas beaucoup hein, sur mon sac qui me connaît, livre qui gagne appelé, bullet, et magazine qui gagne écrit là-dedans.
I am not aware, but what I know is that the books was filled and the amount of bullets and magazines was inserted
Captain,
in the book.
Yes sir.
If I may ask you, who was the armorer that was supposed to be filling this?
Ça, avec tout respect, pas mon ouvrage, mon dévoile notre Jimon, le live television, mais souvent toutes les formations headquarters, et mon capable d'une commission, les plus tard, on finit aussi tout, ça pas un problème.
With respect, it is not my
Because
job
that
to
person wanted
give
to
out.
put you in trouble.
So let's allow the translation. Yeah.
With respect, it is not my job to give out the names of the person responsible for the armory on live television, but the headquarters have all that information that you need.
Okay. Now, why I'm saying this? Because if that person is not doing his or her job properly, it puts you in trouble.
Yes. Mais seulement, si vous pouvez dire quelque chose qui manque, il y en a un team sorti headquarters qui en sas SDF qui fait l'inspection, proper inspection, every 6 months, je suppose. Ouais, ça aussi.
But if
It's
you
not my
said
job to pour moi check dans le livre.
that there are something missing, there is a team from SDF that are responsible for inspection every 3 months. They
From
are
headquarters.
supposed from headquarters. They are supposed to identify these issues. It's not my job to identify that.
But maybe just, I'm sorry, there are now follow-up after follow-ups, which is fine. We'll still get you back to Commissioner Vidot, but I think this is an important point. We hear you, but you earlier on said you were in charge 100%. I think those were your words, 100% of the armory. So the natural expectation is that you would know these things. You would know how many bullets got out, and how many bullets were taken by one officer out, and how many bullets did that officer use out there. Right. Is that correct?
Commissioner, mon prochain procédé qui m'a établi PSU.
I had established a procedure at PSU,
Par mon explique autres.
like I explained.
Si y en a une faute dans le livre,
If there is a mistake in the book,
mon pas au courant.
I would not be aware.
Okay. So, but maybe let's take you a bit back. Can you explain to us the procedure for allocation of bullets to members of your special operations?
Si moi explique ça, il peut venir tout détail qui nous peut travailler avec, mais quelquefois qui a quel team combien là on peut travailler avec, si on pas pour dévoiler le live TV.
If I were to explain that, it would be revealing the details of the team that I worked with and the actual team right now, so I would not reveal that.
It does not, because what we are asking for, maybe let me clarify my question. What I'm asking is something that really is basically about transparency. So I'm not asking you to reveal the names of people who were given ammunition. I'm just asking you to clarify the process, the procedures that are followed. When one is being deployed to an operation and they need ammunition, specifically bullets, what would be the procedure? Does one just get into the armory and get bullets and go?
No.
What happens?
OK. Procédure lundi bon matin, ça me vini, puis la masse commandant chef.
Procedure, Monday morning, the team arrives and going to pick up the commander-in-chief.
One by one, you have to the armory, go to armory officer.
One by one, they enter into the armory to the armory officer.
Based low briefing qui armory officer gagné.
Based on the briefing that the armory officer received,
Il donne d'autres weapons et amount of ammunition.
he gives them their weapons and the amount of ammunition
D'autres si,
required.
hein.
They sign.
Ça armory officer ici, hein.
The armory officer signs.
D'autres sorti dehors.
They go outside.
Let tout le monde fini.
When everyone is completed,
D'autres line up.
they line up.
The team leader, il prend en contrôle, il double check tout quelque chose.
The team leader takes control and double checks everything,
Brief autres
briefs
et autres
them,
deploy.
and deploys them.
Okay. So let's say there is soldier A,
Second.
soldier A, who has been allocated 5 rounds of bullets before the operation. So when after the operation, when they come back, do they have to account on how many of the 5 rounds they used?
Yes.
Okay. Is there somewhere where that is recorded?
Yes. Of course.
So perhaps the point he is making is, but doesn't look like there is anywhere where that is recorded.
Mon Dieu, mon procédure, commissionnaire, et mon massio qui, ça y a quelque chose qui m'a maintient si slow là. La quantité de boulettes qui sortent entre, ça m'a cause depuis 2020.
I have explained the procedure, Commissioner, and this is something that the
Team
officers,
leaders.
the team leaders, sticks on.
Mon armory officer,
My armory officer
il y a des gens qui sont historiques
was someone that was very strict,
et qui fait si
and he made sure
que tous sont quelque chose accountable.
that all of his things, everything was accounted for.
But you cannot say that when the only way you can say that, Captain, is if on record these details are there, right? I'm not asking for your personal opinion of your officer. It's clear that you have so much confidence in your officer,
100%.
right? And that's perfectly fine. What we are probably talking about is a slightly different issue. That on the records, and I think that is Commissioner Tihan's point, on the records, it does not seem that there is a clear paper trail on how many bullets went out and how many bullets came back for each of the military officers. and maybe, do you think that's a problem?
Par mon Dieu, je répète encore,
Like I said, and I will repeat,
dans le livre qui m'a motivé,
what I saw in the book,
tout quelque chose qui tu gagnes sorti, rentré, tu gagnes écrit.
everything that went out and came back in
Ça
was
papier quelque chose
written.
pas qu'on est côté gagné ou que tu faire copie, but ça mon fini explique ça bout qui là.
The paper that you have with you, I do not know where you made it a copy from that, where you made a copy from, but I have explained that part.
Okay.
Qu'il fatal est l'état sorry sir. Mon capable double check ça papier et m'a qu'il fa get bon CAT si mon magazine.
Maybe later on I can double check the paper and check out the signatures if I know any of the signatures.
Yeah. Captain Bristol,
Yes sir.
I know, I understand the procedures, the military procedures, the military hierarchy. Yeah? That you were the captain responsible for
The team.
the team, and obviously you had subordinates under you. Yeah?
Yes sir.
Now, when we are saying that this was not happening, it means that your subordinates were not doing their jobs correctly. This is why I was trying to say to you, it was something that would put you in trouble tomorrow.
Yes,
Okay?
peut écouter ça.
Now, who was...
Perhaps he wanted to take a look, right?
Yes.
Give him an opportunity
Please.
to look, and then he.
Et l'autre quelque chose aussi qui m'ont capable de devant la commission.
A small other thing that I can put before the
Mon
commission's
qu'on a bon non
attention.
là, yes.
I saw the names on it, yes.
Ça dit mon qui est responsable pour return.
The person that was responsible for return.
Si tu n'as aucun ammunition qui est servi ou qui pas accountable,
If there was any ammunition that was used or was not accounted for,
je suis pour call moi ou ça un pas bas mon straight away à voler, il fait agir mon si son return.
they would have called me or the one underneath me straight away before they had that person do the return.
So si y a un return qui est ici, hein,
So if there's a return that has been signed,
tout quelque chose est accountable.
everything is accounted for.
Moi, une information qui te manque là, mais qui fait écrire dans le bas au courant.
I see that there are information that is missing from that, but maybe it was written somewhere else. I
Mon
am
comprend
unaware.
commissionnaire, quand il fait dire mon qu'il fait mon subordinate qui ti il fait mistake ou qui a venu mon problème.
I understand my commissioners when they said that maybe my subordinate did the mistake and to put me in problem.
Mais seulement mon point insister exactement moi je travaille avec spécialement les bon team leaders qui m'ont appointé.
But I would insist that the team that I worked with and especially the team leaders that I appointed,
Je ti fait si tout quelque chose est accountable.
they made sure that everything was accounted for.
So, no, I think that point you have made it. So maybe we hear you very well that in terms of the procedures, and you can put your water on the table. It's fine also if you.
Non, il fait camera.
Okay. In terms of the procedure, all the bullets, all the ammunition must be accounted for, right? And your point is, if some ammunition had not been accounted for, the officer in charge of the armory would and should have let you know.
Yes.
But the question also that we have is, did you also check on your own
Pas mon Dieu avec
to
commission.
verify that
By Montagne
every
Commission.
ammunition taken
Like I
is accounted?
stated to the commission,
Marie dit encore une fois.
and I will reiterate one time,
Procédure avant les mon si un mon weapon return
procedure before I signed the monthly weapon return,
qui tu fait tous les mois.
which was done monthly.
Armory officer et son assistant
The armory officer, with the assistant of the armory officer,
sometimes avec mon admin officer.
sometimes with my admin officer,
Nous tu double check every single quelque chose fait si accountable.
we double checked every single thing to make sure that they were accounted for.
Si mon chi available, mon chi là.
If I was available, I presented myself.
Si mon parti available, mon chi mon assistant là.
If I was not available, I had my assistant went in my stead.
Avant les nous sign sa money weapon return tous les mois.
Before we signed that monthly weapons return every
Nous tu
month,
double check tout quelque chose.
we double checked everything.
Okay. So you did not see any problem. You checked on a monthly basis.
Les mois tu nous double check
When I
money
said
weapon return.
double check the monthly weapons return,
Et tu mets qualité type of weapon.
it listed the type of weapon,
Quantité ammunition, qualité ammunition y en a.
how many and what type of ammunition it contained,
Nous tu compte ça, nous tu double check ça, serial number, everything. Après que tu sais.
counted that, checked the serial number and everything, and it was afterwards that we signed.
Et ça il fait tous les mois.
And this is done every month.
Captain,
Ça.
what you have just said is correct. Okay? This was an audit of your armory. Amount of weapons you've got in your armory, amount of ammunition you've got in your armory, amount of grenades you've got in your armory, and whatever that you have in your armory. Yeah? That's the correct procedures that you did. But the procedure that was wrong is the procedure of the book.
C'est, on n'a pas commenté encore mon fait le procedure of the books.
I do not have any
Okay.
more comments to make on the procedure
So-
of the books.
If you said that the people from the army headquarters, yeah, they would check your books
Every 6 months.
every 6 months. So would we say that the people from the Defense Force headquarters would check this book as well?
On pas au courant.
I would not be aware of that information.
Because then the whole system failed to notice that, you know, this was not working. The bullets were not being identified. They were not issued or returned. So somewhere along the line, maybe the Defense Forces headquarters as well did not pick this up.
Je n'ai pas commenté pour faire là.
I have no comments to make on that.
No, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
Okay.
very clearly.
Okay. Now, the other thing is, could you tell us who was the person second in command to you?
Par exemple, j'ai au commencement, mon petit gars sur moi, pour mon venir là, mon appareil là. Mon papa pour dévoiler non, ken bon ex-officers,
Like
le National TV, but any details, si vous avez besoin, mon camera mettre dans un lettre, email, envoyer les autres, ça pas un problème.
Like I stated, I answered the summons and appeared here, and I would not be revealing any details about my particular former team members on national TV, but I can supply you with that information through a mail or letter or another means.
Okay. And anyway, for now, the last question that I wanted to ask you, or two questions. You said that when the special ops team was requested from whoever to go and carry out specific operations, was there a point of contact? If it was drugs, I suppose it would have been the police. Was there a point of contact that liaised directly with you or the person responsible for
Yes.
the special ops?
Yes, Chana.
Yes, there
So
was.
would you be able to tell us as well who was this point of contact?
Mon capable de sont pas là.
I
That's it.
can tell you, but not on
Narcotics
television.
team, les tu besoin aller, tu call.
Like
Si on match available, je t'assister. Plusieurs fois tu busy, je pas capable assister.
Sorry,
Narcotics team.
the narcotics team, when
Police,
they needed help,
police team.
the police team, they would call
Les autres besoin d'assistance,
when they needed assistance,
les autres qui ont assisté.
and they were
Si
assisted
mon match available.
if the officers were available.
Okay.
Any names mon capable donner, par mon petit dans lettre, email, n'a pas problème avec ça.
Any names, I can give them out later on in a mail or letter, like I stated. I have no problem with that.
Okay, last question, Captain. For now. You said that there were, in fact, question from
Judge.
Commissioner Vidot. He said that, or he asked you questions about the higher authorities at the army headquarters, yeah, and questions about information that they said that you never related to them in terms of operations and certain other things that they said here. Would you say, and you refuted this, you said it was not true, then are you saying that the people of the high authorities that came here, they were lying?
Il dépend qui l'opération peut dire.
It depends on what operation you're referring to.
Moi, je suis appointé comme officer in charge for Presidential Security Unit.
I was appointed as officer in charge for the Presidential Security Unit.
With respect, pour mon supérieur,
With respect to my superiors,
mon parti besoin des autres comptes côté mon président commandant chef puis aller côté tourner.
I was
Ça bonne maman,
supposed to render account to them about the whereabouts of my president.
Special Ops, et tu Special Ops, tu assisté la police.
The officers that were under my command, the special ops, when they assisted the police,
Si tu n'as pas anything, parti besoin faire un rapport, tu tournes, pas mon dit de check ta munition, mesdames, everything okay, carry on with normal duty.
if there wasn't anything, they would return, like I stated, double check the ammunition, put it in the armory, and everything like the way it's supposed to.
Et communication, c'est quand il fait par la team leader de la team
And the
avec sa officiers de la police qui tu call pour request.
communication was done between the team leader of that team and the police officer that requested their assistance.
So there was no report that was made in these operations that you performed with the police?
Il y a un rapport que tu as fait par sa bonne la police qui est responsable par entrer là d'accord ça was completely sur l'opération. Pas beaucoup. Moi connais un rapport que tu as fait. Moi comment déjà avoir un rapport.
There were reports that was done, but this was done by the
Police.
people in the police force. It was their responsibility. I had nothing to do with that, and I recall seeing one or two of these reports.
But your people who were assisting the police at that time, if there's been an operation, and obviously sometimes operation leads to criminal cases in court. Should there not have been a report from your officers?
C'est l'ouvrage qui mon officier peut faire, il peut assister la police.
The duty that my officers were doing, it was assisting the
Il
police.
partit zot l'opération.
It was not their operation.
Ça la police qui peut mener sur l'opération, qui besoin en cours, les qui besoin faire son rapport.
The police officers that are spearheading the operation is the one that is going to bring the case before the
I do understand that. I do understand that. But what I'm saying is that any operations, obviously you would have officers, police officers, and your military officers who are assisting the police. You needed to have some form of report from your officers.
Yes. Ça, on peut faire au corps commissioner. L'opération est dans 12 jours. L'exemple. 12 jours.
That's what I'm trying to make the commissioner understand. For example, in an operation, there can be 12 individuals.
12 jours, on ne peut pas faire rapport.
The 12 individuals would not do the report.
The team leader, qui est la police, qui est en charge, les autres qui font le rapport.
It's the
Lui qui
team
fait son
leader,
rapport.
which was the police officer that was in charge. He's the one that would do the report.
Mais seulement, il y en a plusieurs instants qui se mènent son caisse en cours.
But there were times, several instances, where he would bring the case before court,
Et tu request avec moi pour sa bonne soldat faire statement.
and he requested from me to have the soldiers do statements.
Moi, tu n'as pas aucun, pas tiré fils aucun non, hein. Moi, tu fais le statement d'après l'opération, tu vas faire handover avec lui et il y a des constitutions.
And I never refused anything, and I allowed them to make their statement according to the operations that was done and to hand it to them for their particular jobs.
Okay. I guess maybe the question that Commissioner Vidot is also asking, and it would be good if you can be direct in answering the question, is let's say, for example, you have been requested by the police to go and help them on an anti-narcotics operation, and you deploy 12 soldiers. We take your point that when you deploy them, they are assisting the police. That's your point, right? Am I correct so far?
Yes.
Okay. Then when the operation is done, your point again is that it is the team leader, who is the police, who compiles a report on how the operation went. Correct? Am I
Yes.
correct? Okay. Now, the question that I think you haven't answered is, do they share that report with you?
No.
Okay, no. Do you request to see the report?
No. Not at all.
Okay, why?
Narcotique, l'opération,
The operations of narcotics
tu n'as pas non rien pour faire avec mon post title que moi j'ai appointé pour faire.
had nothing to do with my particular post title of which
Mon
I was
parti a un
appointed to do.
sens pour mon request un rapport qui est l'inspecteur, un SI, un ESP fait.
I did not see any sense in me doing inspecting a report that an inspector and SI had compiled.
Mais seulement,
But
mon bon soldat est acheté tourné.
my officers, when they return,
Mon always, ça c'est un senior, il demande un petit rapport.
the senior one always gives me a small report.
Verbal, soit le téléphone, soit whatever.
Verbal,
Captain,
on
tout
the
les choses
phone.
n'allent bien, nous tournons, see you tomorrow morning, 7 a.m.
Captain, everything went well.
That-
See you tomorrow morning. 7
that's
a.m.
clear. So how do you, as the commander of the special forces, and you are the one that has deployed them there, so how do you account for their behavior and their conduct?
Can you repeat question, please?
Can
you-
you repeat the question?
So my
please?
question is, if you don't insist on receiving a report, how do you ensure or account to the public, to your superiors, how do you account on the conduct of your security forces during that operation?
Par mon Dieu, le temps, ça l'opération, puis le gars il fait, ou soit le le fait. Les officiers font un request.
Like I said, when the operation is going to be conducted or is going to be in the process of doing the operation, there's a request that is done
Par narcotique via téléphone.
by the narcotics via phone,
Et même pareil, tu tournes.
And it's the same when they return.
Pareil, tu request, il dit, bon, nous fini, merci beaucoup, tout quelque chose n'est bien, correct.
The same as they requested, they would say that they have finished with the operation, everything went well, thank you very much.
So the question, no. The question is there, remember the question was, is there a written report that you as the commander, you receive? You said no, and you said there's no need.
This, Mamed lo record, Commissioner.
Just to place on record,
Mon patien commander, Special Force par EPG.
I was not a commander of
Moi,
the special
suis
force.
officier en charge, Presidential Security Unit.
I was the officer in charge of the presidential security
Mon
unit.
parti a un needs qui moi, mon besoin un rapport narcotique contre mon office.
I did not see a need for me to have a narcotic report
Okay.
at my
Mon
office.
ouvrage, type
Okay, I think that is fine. You've answered. Maybe we are now debating a different question. Your answer is you did not get regular reports on the operations for which you deploy soldiers, and we asked you, how would you account for their conduct? And I think you are repeating the same answer that, look, I don't have to get a report.
Yes.
Right. So we have established that you don't get regular reports on operations for which your forces are a part of.
Si soumet le record, l'opération narcotique, qui s'abonne soldat de la police, mon parti gagné un rapport, mon parti demandé un rapport.
Just to place on record, this was in regard to narcotics
Yeah,
operation
correct.
that
Correct.
the
That's what we are
officers
talking about.
requested my officers.
Never receive a report.
But you are the one who is deploying your officers for these
Moi,
operations.
j'envoie mon officers et de la police.
I
Yes.
sent
exactly
them
what I'm
to
saying.
help the
Yes, mais mon
police.
réponse à la question plusieurs fois, Commissioner.
Yes, but I answered that question several times.
Okay. So despite you being the one who deploys them, they return and you don't get a report. Am I correct?
C'est again, sir?
Once they return, you don't get a report from them.
C'est qu'il faut l'ouvrage narcotique qui tu fait, ça bonne l'état. Qui m'ont quoi, qu'on peut faire là. Narcotique est l'ouvrage confidentiel.
The narcotic job that was being done in the past and that I think are still being conducted is a confidential job.
On va utiliser mais qu'on est contre mon bon gens puis aller.
I never really knew where my men were being sent,
Qui opération puis faire.
what operation they were going to
À
do.
cause ça tu secret, tu gagnes brief. L'état tout téléphone tu gagnes massé et ça l'opération pas gagner déroulé.
Because this was secretive and they were briefed when all the phones were picked up and that particular operation was going to be held.
Mais les autres tournaient après l'opération.
But after they had returned from that particular
Sa team
operation,
leader de sa team, staff saison, c'est major.
that team leader in that particular team, the sergeant major or the staff sergeant,
Il y a vraiment un petit message aux autres call moi. N'importe les.
Send
Et
me.
de bon matin.
a small message or call me anytime, 1, 2 a.m. in the morning.
Nous tournons, nous safe, tout quelque chose accountable, and so on.
Everybody returned, we are safe, everything is accounted for and so on.
But there's no official reporting.
On my side, no.
No, on my side.
Okay. So, as I said, on the 5th and 6th of December 2024, you were out of jurisdiction.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when you were out of jurisdiction, were you informed at any point in time that there was an incident at the Montagne Posée prison?
No.
Okay. So, but some of your officers were deployed there.
Yes.
The request for such deployment didn't come from you?
C'est dans SDF, pas les autres tout au courant, il y a une chain of command qui gagne fait.
In SDF, like you are all aware, there is a chain of command that needs to be followed.
Ça bonne les temps, qui a un incident qui est arrivé, mon ouvrage, qui Posée, commandeur chef ça les temps, second président Cécile.
The time that the incident happened, my job was to protect the 5th president of Seychelles,
Et moi, je overseas.
and I was overseas.
So, il y a un deuxième petit monde qui vient après moi, un troisième, un quatrième.
So there was somebody second to me, a third one, fourth one, and fifth one.
Et les autres qui take care of everything, qui tiennent faire avec Cécile.
And they were taking care of everything that had to do with Seychelles.
So, if you were not informed, and somebody else, your second in command, who was in charge of the group, when you were out of Seychelles. Can you just give us the name of that person who was in charge
Non
of
pas
that?
le National TV.
Not on national TV.
Okay.
Je pas pour dévoiler aucun member of my team
I
au
will not
télévision.
reveal any member of my team on the TV.
Maybe we need to clarify something on that, Captain. Certain information is confidential. We agree with you, right? Maybe can you? We are not at this point. I am not at this point asking you to reveal the name, but I would like you to explain why revealing the name of a person who is employed as your second in command is something that is confidential.
Il pas confidentiel, seulement il pas nous gars train comme ça.
It's not confidential, but that is how we were trained.
Et si vous besoin aucune information qui fait pourquoi nous pouvons donner la langue, headquarters dans tout record structure PSU.
If you require any information that you think maybe I would lie, the headquarters have all that information.
In a structure.
And the structure
For
also.
PSU.
For PSU, sorry.
I don't think that answers my question. So you are saying it's not confidential. You agree?
C'est avec respect, encore une fois, pour les commissioners, moi pas pour mentionner aucun nom, mon bon collègue, le live TV.
With due respect again to the commissioners, I will not be mentioning any of my colleagues' name on live TV.
I think let's debate one question at a time, right? Because it seems you are already making a decision, and we don't want to rush to the decision. So we want to understand your reasoning, right? Because perhaps there's something you need to educate us, right? So my question was, what is confidential about the identity of a person who is employed as your second in command? And your answer, and I want to see if I heard you correctly, your answer seems to be that it's not confidential, but it's not how you were trained. I'm trying to understand the reason why you can't.
And so will remain the same. I do not know what further explanation I can provide. I will not be revealing the names of my
No, but that's not
former
what I'm
colleagues on
asking you,
live
because
television.
remember at the beginning of the hearing, we said you must answer questions that are asked to you. I am not asking you to give us the name. At least not at this point. I'm not asking you. It is a matter of the law, whether you should or you should not at the end of the day, right? So it's not a decision that you can make, right? But I'm not there. I'm not even questioning your decision, right? I'm asking you to explain why it is impossible for you to give names.
Because I do not want to.
Mais seulement, après commission, mon paré, pour mettre dans un lit, par mon petit autres, ou dans autres, tout nos autres besoins. Ça pas un problème.
But like I said, after the commission, I am ready to provide them to you in a letter or through another means. I have no problems with that.
Ou si vous avez besoin de quelque chose de plus officiel, vous pouvez request avec headquarters, vous avez tout quelque chose de restricté.
Or if you need something more official, I can request it to the headquarters and you can get everything on the structure.
Okay, just hold on. Okay. So I'm informed also by Commissioner Vidot that part of what you said is, I just don't want to give you that information. Is that? Did you say that?
Yeah, comme si mon pas pour dévoiler, mon pas envie, mon pas pour dévoiler les autres, non.
I would not reveal their name. I do
No.
I will not be
That's not the
revealing their
question
name.
I have asked. Did you at any point say, the answer is I don't want to?
Mon dit mon pas pour envie dévoiler aucun nom, mon bon ex-officer National TV. Après qui commission fini là, mon paré pour dans autres n'importe qui non.
I said that I do not want to reveal the names of my officers on TV, but after the commission is over, I can provide you with the names.
Okay, no, that is perfectly fine. I thought you had said I am not going to give you the information because
No,
I just can I sorry.
Camera coupé, mon pour aucun nom que besoin.
After the
sorry,
camera is
Captain.
cut
Captain,
off, I will
Captain,
provide the
sorry.
Yes,
names.
Sorry, let's If we need to take a break, we can take a break. You can also request a break, by the way.
Okay.
So what we should not do, we should not speak over each other. Because this is a process which, it's a serious process. We are here to hear you. You are also here to hear us. So if we speak over each other, then we are not being productive. But I understand it's perfectly normal that some of these things can also become emotional. It's perfectly normal. So when we need a break, any one of us can just ask for a break. And we take a break, we come back, and we continue. So the question I had asked was, in fact, I wasn't asking a question, I was clarifying, because it's important that we do so. I was saying, we thought you had said, I'm not giving you that information because I don't want to. So if you had said that, then I think we would have a different conversation. But I understand from your clarification right now that you are saying, I don't want to give you this information on live television.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So perhaps let me then clarify that it is the commission that decides whether you should give them information or not. Where there is good reason for you not to give the information on live television, the commission will agree with you. Right? But let us be clear that in terms of the law, it is not you who makes that decision. Right? You can request and say, commissioners, I request that I give you that information off camera. There are so many other witnesses. Sorry, I'm still clarifying that. There are so many other witnesses who have come here, including, I think, your superiors, and they have said in some instances, I request that I give you that information off camera, instead of saying, I don't want to give you that information off camera. I will not give you that information off camera. If we take that approach, we are being unnecessarily confrontational with each other.
Okay, sir, I apologize. First of all, si vous dites mal comprendre.
First of all, I apologize if you misunderstood me.
Mais seulement, il y a quelque chose qui m'a fait 3 jours passés après les autres secrétaires.
But it's something that I had done 3 days ago through the secretary.
Moi, je dis, si vous besoin aucune information, je suis capable d'en autres, mais seulement par le National TV.
I said that if you required any information, I can provide it to you, but not on national
Si moi
television.
un forme, moi besoin d'employer qui n'a pas rien qui mon capable employer qui vient dire avec le mot.
She gave me a form to fill in that nothing that I stated on that form could reflect back on me. Yes.
Mais seulement, par exemple, dit, aucun quelque chose, on peut request avec commissioners.
But like I stated, anything I am requesting with the commissioners
Pour me donner sa bonne nom, sa bonne fichier off camera.
for me to provide the names of the officers of camera.
I think that is perfectly fine, Captain, and we are in agreement with you. Just as one thing we can assure you is we are very fair and consistent. If you check the other witnesses that came before you, they made similar requests, and we agreed. Why? Because we believe that there's a good reason for them to do so. So we agree with you. The part where I think we're having problems is where you seemed to have already made a decision that I will not give you that information. And I was saying, no, that is not your decision to make. That is the commission's decision to make. So we are in agreement. The secretary is noting all the elements of your testimony, which you would like to, which you are requesting to give off camera, on camera. In legal language, you say on camera, meaning
camera.
off camera, right? So we will allow you to do that because we believe there's a good reason for you to do so. But we just didn't want you to make the ruling.
Thank you, sir.
I think you also brought up the issue about your application for giving evidence of television, right? That's what you were...
Moi, je peux expliquer que le secrétaire qui corporé 100%, qui a envoyé un email avec un lettre, un forme besoin d'employer pour retourner avec votre commission.
I'm just explaining that the secretary cooperated well with me, and she sent me even a mail and a form for me to fill.
Mais sa forme, tu n'as pas aucune question directe qu'elle n'a pas fait, bon.
And that form had no questions that were directly linked to me.
So, mon vini, moi répondre à toute question au live TV, ben name, si tu as gagné après commission, les caméras coupées.
So I came to answer everything on live TV, but the names I can provide them
Okay.
after the
So I think then we
camera is
are
cut off.
together now. We are
Thank you,
together. But okay.
Captain.
So,
There is one question where you stated earlier, that you have always been cooperative with the police, whoever, when they requested any information from you.
information.
Yeah, any information that they requested from you with regards to operations that was carried out.
So, la police pas chi request aucune information avec moi, tu request this manpower.
The police did not request any information from me, only manpower.
Now, what I'm saying, maybe I termed it wrongly. You never refused to cooperate.
Not at all.
That's what you said.
Not at
You never refused to cooperate with the police in whatever situation that happened.
Tout le temps nous corporate, tout le temps travail masse bien. Tu n'as pas désappointement, quand les moments sont petit busy, parce qu'à les autres, ça est normal, mais
Okay.
coopération, tu masse bien avec la police et SDF.
We always cooperated. There was everything always worked well. There was certain times whereby they were a bit disappointed because my men were unable to assist them, but throughout we always worked well together.
Now, one thing that I think we need to clarify is, you see, previously the other witnesses that came forward, and I would say that those were the high officers from the SDF. They came here, and they said that the only time that they had to deal with your team was only when it came to logistics and administration. Nothing more. They knew nothing about what was going on, the operations and everything.
C'est mon pas là pour mon
No, they said it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Je viens dire, mais seulement pas pour débattre le ça qui moment supérieur, dit à mon grand respect pour les autres.
They said it, but I would not argue with what my superiors stated because I have deep respect for
Mais seulement
them.
dans les autres quelque chose que tu es courant about, pas this admin or request. Tu as les autres quelque chose que tout le monde est courant about.
They were aware of other things as well, not just admin and the thing that you mentioned. They were aware of other things.
Par exemple, dit sur cause l'opération narcotique.
Like I stated, if you are referring to narcotics operation,
Moi aussi, moi pas au courant à certain time que peut faire.
I myself also was unaware at a certain point in time what they were
À cause c'est
doing
quelque chose confidentiel, travail confidentiel que tu quand il fait, moi tu donnes this manpower.
because that was a confidential job that they were doing. I supplied them with manpower only.
I understand what you are saying, but I've still got reservations. Now, the troops that were handed over to the police, they are trained,
Special force.
very well trained military personnel.
Agreed.
Okay? There's no doubt about it. But the question is, how come very well trained military personnel, they go on a mission and then nobody, when you say it's very confidential, does the CDF, can't he know what's going on? He is very high, the CDF.
Yes.
Can't he know what's going on?
I would not know anything about that.
Sim,
It was a
CDF,
police
c'est pas encore
operation.
courant.
Whether or not CDF
Okay,
was
but do you think it's normal?
communicated
I mean,
about the issue or not.
Do you think it's normal? Because if you were the CDF, and such operations were being carried out, your men was out there and you didn't know what was going on, would that be normal to you? Would
Non,
you not?
il pas pour normal, mais seulement il besoin d'un certain communication qui a fait certain l'arrangement qui a fait.
It would
Si soldat travaille avec la police,
not
yeah,
be normal,
certain quelque chose qui arrive.
but there must have been certain communication, certain arrangements that had been made if the police was working with the military.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Arrangements were made. They are carrying out their duties. But what I'm trying to say is, so you as the CDF or the chief of staff, you don't know what's happening to your men? I mean, this is a little bit... This is a little bit not normal, don't you think?
N'a pas commenté au fait là.
I have
Avec
no
respect.
comments to
With
make
respect.
on that point with respect.
Because why I asked you this question about the higher officers, they said that they dealt with you and your team only in admin and logistics. And then Commissioner Vidot just requested from you about your troops going to Montagne Posée.
No, I've not reached there yet.
Oh, you've not reached there. Okay, let him go and then...
On demande moi, ça n'est c'est une
I asked you about the incident. I've not
Incident,
told you that your officers were
Okay,
there.
sir. Okay.
That is fine. Maybe let's go back to Commissioner Vidot.
Okay. So you were not in Seychelles, and you tell me that you were not informed of the incident that was happening here.
Not at all.
Is it Captain Onoda? He's
No,
Captain
it's,
Colonel Onoda.
Onoda.
He never contacted you?
Not at all, sir. Not at all. Il est chief of staff, il pas besoin de capitaine de l'armée. Si
He's
besoin
a
besoin.
chief of staff. He does not need to call
Salute,
the
right.
captain in the army if he needs men.
Ça les temps si mon voisin est un law force commander.
That time, if I recall correctly, he was a land force commander.
Okay. But subsequently, when did you become aware of the incident that happened at Montagne Posée?
Qui date est les 5?
What
The
was
5th
it,
and the
the
6th of
5th?
December.
5th. Moi, je suis aware from social media, WhatsApp, video.
I was aware through social media, WhatsApp, and video.
Bonnes affaires, expérience share, moi, je get from là, but zero communication avec Cécile.
I saw from the things that they were sharing, but zero through communication with Seychelles.
But were you ever made aware that some of your officers were participating in the operations that was taking place at the prison?
Yes, moi, je suis aware, sont les 6 ou les 7.
Yes, I was made aware the 6th or the 7th.
So who drew your attention to that?
Team leader Sachim, qui t'a assisté.
The team leader of that team that assisted.
Je sais fort moi qui j'ai gagné un call avec colonel et ils ont assisté pour tel l'incident.
They just
Célébration.
informed me that they received a call from the colonel to assist with the operation.
Ça c'est les 6 ou les 7, je m'appelle bien.
That was the 6th or the 7th, I do not recall correctly.
And who was the team leader?
So I can request pour share son name off camera please.
May I request that the name be shared off camera, please?
Okay. And you said that the colonel, he told you that the colonel called him and asked for assistance. Did he name who was the colonel he was referring to?
It was the land force commander at this time, Colonel Olada.
Okay. And when did you return back to the Seychelles?
L'INIF.
The 9th.
Bon, imagine si flight pour matin si après-midi, mon c'est mon ticket avion, mon papier voir, il mon vieux téléphone qui la police une saisie, une volée.
I cannot recall if it's on the 9th in the morning or afternoon. I was checking to see if I could locate my ticket for the flight information, but I've lost it. The information also is on my old phone that is with the police.
That's not what he said.
That the police stole.
Stolen.
Stole.
Yeah. But you became aware that your officers were part of the team that went to the Montagne Posée prison. Some of your officers.
Yes, les pas mon dit les 6 et les 7, ça terminé de l'école, mon dit mon pour dire tirer école avec supérieur et Jonathan. C'est tout. Very short.
Like I stated, it was either the 6th or the 7th. The team leader called me stating that they received a call from the superior to go assist. That's all.
did you get a report, apart from what you just told us, did you ever get a report as to their participation in that operation?
No.
No.
Do you think it would have been wise for them to make a report to you for their participation in that operation?
No.
No.
Why is that?
Moi capitaine de l'armée mon. Et colonel qui tient cause autres. So si on a une après aussi les mots passés seul, pas mon Dieu, mon n'a pas aucun c'est. Unless moi l'opération qui m'ont peut faire, la m'a demandé report avec sa team leader.
Like I said, I am a captain in the army, and it was the colonel that called them. And since I was not in Seychelles also, unless I was the one being part of the operation, then I would do it. But since I was not.
And I'm sure you became aware at some point that as part of the operations, 2 people lost their lives.
Oh yes.
Okay. And some people were beaten.
Montagne plus histoire, oui.
Yeah.
I heard a few stories, yes.
Some people were badly injured.
Yes.
Okay.
Mon aussi t'a dit que Montagne beaucoup d'histoires.
I also heard a lot of stories, yes.
So you didn't seek any explanation from any of your officers?
Pas mon dit mon parti c'est parti mon l'opération, so mon pas faire living mon priorité.
Like I said, I was not in the jurisdiction of Seychelles, and it was not my operation, so I did not make it a priority of mine.
Mais seulement Montagne ça bon soldat.
But I heard these army
Et puis soldat
officers,
peut causer qui quantité marchi yo tin passé.
some soldiers talking about how much
Marchi
yeah. how much mistreatment they suffered.
Mistreatment march.
Mistreatment, no.
It's okay. Not mistreatment but quantité difficulté au tin gagner.
But that's what
How?
That's what Marty.
Yeah, more retract. Quantité difficulté au tin gagner.
So for use of a better term, how much difficulty he retracted the first
And
statement.
it's not use of a better term. It's the use of another term.
Another
because
term.
Another term, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Because the
my-
previous term, it means that they were being subdued to harsh treatment by the prisoners.
Difficult, sorry. The other term. Apologize.
Difficulties, a lot of difficulties they went through.
Okay. And yet, you heard all that, and still you didn't ask for any report from your officers?
Non. Pas mon l'opération, il pas mon priorité.
It was not my operation and not my priority.
Any questions?
Okay, thank you. I think just a few from my side. Just to remind us again of your official role in the special operations team. Because when I said commander, you said no, you are not the commander.
Mon n'a pas rôle officiel dans sa special ops team.
I had no official role in that special ops team.
Okay.
Moi, je commande les autres qui font l'ouvrage QRF et que porter head of state.
I had command over them when they conducted QRF job and the heads of state,
Ils ont fait 100% A1.
which they did 100% A1 performance.
Okay, so I just want to understand that part. Am I correct that you are saying you were in charge of them insofar as they conducted the duties to protect the 5th president? Is that
Can
what
you repeat
said?
your question, sir?
Did you say you were in charge of the special operations for as long as they were?
Mon répète encore, moi je suis en SAS Presidential Security Unit
I repeat, I was in charge of the Presidential Security Unit
et que tous ces bonnes hommes qui sont en bas là.
with all of the men that fell under that unit.
Okay, so you were in charge of the presidential security team.
Yes. Unit, yes.
Right. Now, the special operations team that we are talking about, did you also say the dual role, one to protect the president and another to do anti-drugs anti-narcotics work?
Si commissioner il permet de m'expliquer ça vite moi quoi il
If
faut.
the commissioner permits me, I will explain that
Okay,
quickly.
please.
Sa team tu gars déploie avec moi. Qui est
That,
attaché avec moi.
that team was deployed and attached with me.
Pour l'ouvrage N, faire l'ouvrage QRF,
One for the job of QRF,
Quick Reaction Forces. Ça y est pour faire avec commandant chef direct ça l'état.
this has to do directly with the commander-in-chief at that time.
Okay.
Deuxième,
Secondly,
tiens ça bon head of state qui ont responsabilité, tu tombes le mois et PSU.
there was the head of states that this was under my responsibility and PSU.
Et ça bonne zone qui nous well trained, qui font pas autre ouvrage pour protéger bon head of state.
And the men that were well trained was part of the duties to protect the head of states.
Troisième, la police qui besoin de l'assistance
Thirdly,
manpower
the police needed assistance, manpower
dans une opération narcotique.
in the narcotics operations.
Les autres available, les autres aident la police.
When they were available, they assisted and helped the police.
Okay. Okay. And when they would be, so you would be the one who would ordinarily deploy them to help the police.
Si mon c'est mon qui commande, yes.
If I am in Seychelles and I am in command, then yes.
Okay.
Pareil, l'exemple,
Like an example,
mon avec former président dans 5 jours
with the former president, there are 5 people now.
mon actuellement de suspend without pay.
I am actually in suspension without pay.
Mon n'a pas aucun commandant à team.
I have no command on that team.
Mon second qui take over.
My second takes over now.
Okay. 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 I mean, this suspension is something for now, right? It doesn't have anything to do with what we are investigating. Okay, that's fine.
It's with a criminal
Okay,
case.
okay, that's fine. Okay, so when you are in the country, they would request you to deploy the soldiers to help in the anti-narcotics operation. But when you are not in the country, they would request your
Second in command.
second in command.
Or the one in charge.
All right. So, but that sounds like they are still requesting you, but you delegate your authority to the second in command.
Non.
Okay.
Militaire mas comme ça, il y a un chain of command qui est civil.
The military works like that. There is a chain of command that is followed.
Par exemple, il y a pas de pays, il y a un deuxième qui a ça, ça va.
Like I said, when I'm not in the jurisdiction, there's one under that falls under me, my subordinate that is in charge.
Et les mon petit CC, il y a un circulaire qui est sorti.
And when I am leaving the jurisdiction of Seychelles, there is something that is
Automatically takes over.
yes, that is
So
circulated.
automatiquement, tout le monde connaît pour dire pas mon qui là là. Ça un deuxième.
So automatically, everyone is aware that I am not around, and it's the one second in charge.
Yes, then I think we are talking about the same thing. It's delegation. Because it's just that the delegation is automatic. In the civilian life, the delegation has to be written down. In your sector, it's automatic. You know, once you leave the jurisdiction, then I think that's what you are explaining. So to some extent, the perception that you were in charge of this special operation unit in all its work is not unfounded, right? It's correct.
Pas comprendre son question.
Can you repeat the question? I do not
So if
understand
someone
the
says
way.
you were in charge of the special operations unit, they are correct, right?
Oui.
Yes.
Mon charge special operation.
I was
special
in charge
ops,
of special
team.
ops team
Qui est basé attaché avec PSU.
that was attached with the PSU.
Okay. You were in charge of the special operation unit that was attached to the PSU. That's what you are saying.
Yes.
So you are disagreeing with what I'm saying.
Non. Mon charge a bon homme, tu pas mon commande PSU.
No, these men were under my command at PSU
Okay.
Les mon lot duty et les mon travail.
while I was
so-
on duty and when I was working.
So can you educate us a bit more about accountability? So if you are in charge of a military unit, would we be correct to say you are the accounting officer on how the members of that unit conduct themselves?
Okay, there's a unit. The tuban labor, there's a unit.
Every arms in the unit,
You have a team leader, a senior team leader. Lada.
there is a senior team leader in each
Is
section.
zot saban team leader qui fait ma saban labor.
And it's the team leaders that usually works
Qui fait ma
operates
si travail saban labor.
that are responsible for the operation of each of these sections in the team.
Mon delegate exot, et
And-
zot fait travail masse.
I delegate to them and they do the operations of their duties.
Even pareil, tous les lundis, mon chikri zot dans mon
It's
office.
the same every Monday. I would call them in my office.
Tout quelque chose sur la table.
Everything was laid on the table.
So that sounds to me like you are agreeing with me that you had the duties to first demand accountability from the team leaders, but also you would account to those above you on how this team is working.
Il dépend qui l'instant.
It depends on what instance.
Okay, let me say if your officers conduct themselves unethically or unprofessionally, right, you would ask the team leaders to explain to you what happened and why they did what they did, right? Correct?
Yes.
Right. The one above you would also expect you
Yes.
to explain why the forces conducted
Yes.
themselves in the way they did.
Yes.
Correct. Right. So that's what I mean when I say accounting.
Yes. This case of Moji Commissioner.
Just for me to say to the commissioner,
Mochana board discipline.
let's call it, I had a small board, a disciplinary board,
Kitchen trois amazo là dedans.
that had 3 sergeant major on the board.
Et zot qui deal avec toute discipline qui n'a fait mon unit.
And they dealt with every disciplinary actions that had to be done with my team.
Jusqu'à là jusqu'à là,
Until now,
mon pas jamais receive aucun problème disciplinaire à part de minor issue qui mon unit gagne.
I never received any disciplinary issue
Yeah, I
aside
think we're going
from
to get
minor
there.
issues.
Yeah, we're
that-
going to get there. I just wanted us to clarify the structure. Right. So this board of 3 senior military officers who were in charge of dealing with disciplinary issues, they would answer to you, right?
Yes.
Right. That's what we wanted to
Yes.
establish. Okay. So who were you reporting to?
Encore il faut dépendre de la situation. Et là, moi, je rapporte avec commander special force.
It depends on what situation. Sometimes I would report to the commander of the defense force,
Non, special force.
special force, sorry.
Okay.
À cause ça bonne zone sorti dans cette unit pour arriver au PSU.
And that is because these men came from their unit to come to PSU.
S'il y a aucun changement, aucun quelque chose, moi, je report avec lui.
If there are any change, any thing else, I would have to report to him.
I think
No.
you have answered me. If you don't mind, I think I get your point. Your point is you report to multiple layers
Yes.
depending on the issue.
situation, yes.
Right. Let's talk about discipline. I know that you said you didn't receive much disciplinary concerns, and we'll get there. But for now, I'm asking. Let's say you get the board of 3 senior military officers deal with a disciplinary issue. They report to you and say there were these disciplinary issues that we dealt with involving 3 members of the unit. Do you have a person or a superior that you would account to on
Yes.
such? Yeah.
Il y en a un supérieur, mais encore il faut dépendre de qui qualité action disciplinaire.
Yes, there is a superior, but that would depend again on what
Okay.
kind of
Mais jusqu'à
disciplinary
au-
action.
Jusqu'à aujourd'hui, moi pas jamais reçu aucun gros problème discipline de mon unit.
Up till today, I have never received any major problem, disciplinary problem in my unit.
Après tout, it's a presidential security unit, so discipline should be number 1.
And after all, it was a presidential security unit, so discipline should be number 1.
So in the narcotics, anti-narcotics operation. One of the operations, the commissioners will remind me of the correct pronunciation of the name. One of the witnesses that appeared before us indicated that the soldiers' operation resulted in some children getting injured. Are you aware of that?
Sorry, je ne comprends pas la question, Commissioner.
Il dit qu'il y a une opération qui est un témoin, qui est venu, qui dit, qui est une opération qui est fait, qui est des enfants, qui sont blessés là-dedans.
Je ne sais pas comment ça l'opération.
I was
Je ne sais pas ça l'information.
never aware of that operation and never received that information.
So, just hold on. Yeah.
I was never made aware of that operation or received that information.
And you are not aware of another operation that was done in town where some young lads were
Where?
ordered, some young men were ordered to lie on the ground and pistols
Je ne sais pas comment
pointed on them.
l'opération.
I am unaware of any operation.
Qui?
Sorry?
Non, non. Je ne sais pas comment.
I am unaware.
You are unaware of that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you have any other way of ensuring that your military officers conduct themselves professionally, apart from relying on
Team leader.
on the reports from the team leaders?
Yes.
Okay. Would you want to explain to us some of these ways that you?
Et ça bonne façon, ils m'ont déjà atteint plusieurs opérations avec eux, 10 pour voir 6 autres.
One of these means of doing so is firstly I had attended several operations with them just to monitor them.
Ça inclut l'eau, la mer et la terre.
This includes on land and on the sea as well.
Okay, so
Après tout, moi qui te fais tout appraisal
And
tous les années.
after all, I was the one that did the appraisal every year, end of year.
okay. You have any question? Sure.
Okay. Captain,
So,
I was coming to ask you this question. So, have you ever participated in any narcotics operation before with your men?
yes.
You have.
Yes.
And the reason why you attended this operation was because later you had to write the appraisal.
Non, moi j'ai besoin connaître qualité de travail moi je peux faire.
No, I needed to know what kind of jobs my men were performing
Quel niveau je peux performer ça mon ouvrage.
and to what level were they performing these duties.
Okay.
After all, il m'a dit mon qui peut pas être. Si moi besoin connaître qui je peux passer là-dedans.
After all, these are my men that I are lending to them, so I needed to know what were they involved in.
Okay. So, apart from you observing yourself, you never received any report before or after when they were participating in those operations?
Non.
No.
So, was that normal?
L'opération narcotique n'a pas rien pour faire avec moi. On pas te demander aucun report ou intéressé par aucun report.
Narco-
Ça il doit la police.
Narcotics operation had nothing to do with me. I was not interested for a report
Yeah, but-
or to ask for because this was the responsibility of the police.
But this is where my question always comes back. Those personnel that are being sent to the police for those operations are your men.
Sorry, were they women also in this team?
Sorry?
Were
Chana
they
madam
women?
to
Oh
the-
yes.
So I think let's say men and women.
Men and women.
Yes.
So they were your personnel.
Yes.
So don't you think it was important for you to know what was going on with your men?
Non.
No.
À cause la police tu garde au niveau confidentialité tu garde au niveau sa travail. Sérieux tu garde confidentialité.
Because the
Chidi Mohan.
police officers kept the level of confidentiality of that particular job number one.
On pas jamais intéressé moi demander que je peux aller faire.
And I was never interested to ask them what where were they going, what were they going to
Ça qui
do.
m'a intéressé avec, les tu fini, moi tu receive sa call ou sa message, qui tout le monde dit safe, all accountable.
What I was interested in was after completion of that their operations that all of my men were safe and everything is accounted for.
Okay. I have a follow-up question on that one, maybe before it goes on. We had a witness here
Okay.
from the police who said the soldiers don't report to the police.
Par contre, ça witness qui dit,
I do not know, that is what the witness said.
but moment tu le temps la coach tu call, tu request, so tu report to the police. Et so tu back command à la police at all times.
My team, when the narcotics team from the police called and needed them, they reported to the person in charge of that team.
Every now and then, de temps en temps, moi tu lève téléphone, moi tu après une opération, moi call sign qui tu pensas, tout quelque chose ok, bon job perform normal, tout correct, and tout quelque chose qui positif.
From time to time, I would call the person in charge of the narcotics team at the police and ask them about my men, if they were okay, everything was normal, and like that.
Pas sign qui pensas narcotique de la police. Sign qui pensas ça l'opération qui call moi pour nous bon job.
Not the one in charge of the narcotics, apologies for that, but the one that phoned my men, phoned me to gain access to my men for the operation.
Okay. Okay, maybe let me allow Commissioner to continue. I will ask this question later.
Yeah, now that we've spoken about this, the person that calls you, yeah? The person from the narcotics team, they call you requesting for personnel to be handed over to them for the operation.
Yes.
Okay. Would it be anybody, or as you said, it was the person who was responsible for this operation that called you? Huh?
Yes.
And you are the person responsible for the whole team in the defense. I mean, in the defense part of the anti-narcotics group and whatever. Don't you think maybe the person responsible for the narcotics itself at the police should be calling you, due to the fact that it was so much very, very secure operations that were going to take place?
This elaborate checking location.
Can you just elaborate on that
Okay.
question more?
Don't you
please?
think the person who was supposed to be calling you, you are the high boss at in the group?
PSU, yes.
Okay, you are the person on top. Would it be any lance corporal or whoever that is going to carry out this operation? They were calling you, or don't you think it must have been the person in charge of narcotics, due to the fact that you said it was very sensitive information to be going around?
Yes, sir. Pas eu expliquer. Parce que jamais gagné call avec un caporal au 16 ans.
Like you are explaining, I never received a call from a corporal or
Tout le temps
sergeant.
is from officers to officers.
It was always from officer to officer.
C'est des petits.
Seychelles is small.
Nous tous nous connaissons les Sachin qui fait ça l'ouvrage.
We all know the team doing that
Moi je
job.
nous tous dans la force.
When I say all of us, I mean everyone in the force.
So tu as, let's say 3 ou 4 team leaders qu'on a coaché qui tout le temps comme lui. Pas un caporal, pas 16 ans. Soit un SI, soit un inspecteur, soit un ASP.
Okay.
So there were 3 to 4 people from the narcotics that would call me, not a corporal, maybe SI inspector or ASP.
Okay, Captain.
So,
Would you be able to give us the names later of those people that normally was
yeah, sure.
requesting
Yes.
for your
Anything,
personnel?
sir. Anything. Moi vous donne pas problème.
I would give everything.
Okay,
no problem.
now I'm going to ask you a question. You know, we've got in Seychelles, we've got different forces like the ProTru, we've got the anti-terrorism team, we've got those well-trained personnel as well. Okay, and why couldn't the police use those people instead of the military to carry out those operations?
Pas beaucoup, sir.
I would not be aware.
Because
À la fin, moi, un capitaine de l'armée, je suis tout l'autre qui m'a gagné.
At the end of
No,
the day,
that-
I am a captain in the army and follow all orders.
That's fine.
given.
We respect your integrity. We respect who you were. But what I'm trying to say, in your thinking, the Protru are policemen. The anti-terrorism team, they come from the police department as well. Don't you think it would have been better for them to carry out the operation instead of getting the military involved in things that they...
Pas beaucoup, on sait.
I would not be aware.
Okay. Okay. Because when I'm saying this, another thing is in the list of responsibilities that you said you had for your men, which means that those responsibilities reflect on your men as well. Yes?
Yes.
You had the anti-narcotics responsibility with your team. You had the responsibility of the QRF with the team. Was there any more?
Par exemple, du hypothèse bon head of state qui vient de cesser.
Okay,
Like I
protect the head
said,
of state.
they protected the head of
So
state.
tu es avec plaisir quelque chose que tu appelles les bouts. So after all autres là.
Helped
Si tu as
out.
un event c'est un big event, tu es avec perimeter. Un event contre la cour, nous besoin même power, tu es des event contre la cour. Un event aucun go event qui tu as bon VVIP qui t'attend, tu es des.
So they helped out with
Il y a un
several.
event qui court with respect of the court, il fait tout le long contre l'église. So t'es aidé avec un perimeter, veille perimeter, aucun quelque monde qui peut aussi atteindre, aucun quelque, so t'es aidé tout quelque chose.
They would help out with several other matters, for example, with events that are related to the heads of the state itself, the court, big events whereby there are double VIPs in the premises whereby they help with the perimeter. There is the court opening ceremony also every year that is held at the church. They help also with the security, the perimeter.
Okay, so those were the responsibilities.
Yes sir.
Were there any more?
Beaucoup pour les chocs, quelque chose qu'ils ont fait, mon capable list down.
Okay.
Maman zine, ma list down, ma va donner les documents, ça pas un problème.
Several
Le
other
toi que
things
tu fais.
also that they did. I can list them down on a document if I think about it and provide them to
But
you
the
afterwards.
main duty was QRF and in charge of the head of state that I've insisted.
That's fine. That's fine.
The main
But
duties
now-
was the QRF and the heads of state when
My
they come to
question to
Seychelles.
you is, were there any, in your own thinking, were there any justification for your men with such caliber, yeah, well-trained army officers, was it justified for them to be at the prisons on that night? Taking into account what you said, they were dealing with VVIPs and whatever it is. I don't think there were any VVIPs at the prison on that night for them to go and secure. Do you think it was normal? Do you think it was normal for them to go into this operation?
C'est avec respect, mon pas pour au courant, mon pas chez celle, mon pas connaît qui qualité niveau situation c'était. After all, ça m'a beaucoup un soldat, n'importe les autres supérieurs pour n'importe quel ouvrage, tu peux besoin acknowledge et faire bon l'autre thing qu'il fait.
Respect, I would not be aware of that. Plus, I was not in the Seychelles, so I would not know the severity of the situation back then. And they are soldiers, army officers, and they would respond to orders being given to them by their superior officers if there's any situation that develops.
Un colonel, tu connais ses major.
A colonel would call a sergeant major.
With respect, ça on bien meilleur ça bonnes affaires. Qui a ses major ne pas le dire là.
With
Get the
respect,
job done.
you know very well the situation, sir. What will the sergeant majors have to say about the situation, but get the job done?
I understand. The sergeant major was carrying out his duties or his request. That's fine. But what I wanted to say is, but as I said, for you, do you think it was normal
Pas pour faire aucun commentaire là, avec respect, sir.
With respect, I will not make any comment on that.
Okay. Now,
Sorry, I understand what you mean, but maybe what you need to say is the reason why you would not make a comment on that. Because if you just say, I will not make a comment on that, it might not be very clear to the commissioner why you are not making a comment on that.
Ok, commissioner, pas pour mettre comment là, à cause ça l'ouvrage, tu gagnes conduct par mon supérieur.
Because
Pas
that
pareil pour moi, faire aucun commentaire sur l'ouvrage.
operation was conducted by my superior, and I am not ready to comment on the details of his operation.
Plus, on bâtit d'un pays.
Plus, I was not in the country.
Okay.
yeah.
So-
Now,
okay, go ahead.
now, Captain,
Ça,
we had two very high officers here. In fact, three
yes.
very high officers that came here. And publicly, they mentioned one thing about the conduct of the special ops group in two incidences. One at Montfleury, where it was said that they fired and a child got hurt, and the other one at Hungard Street, where three young boys, I suppose, they were harassed on the streets at Hungard Street. Did you know about this?
Ça, mon pas maintenant, ça va l'incident. Et pas jamais arrivé, ça l'état qui m'a montré au comment ça chim.
I never heard about that incident, and that never happened during the time that I was in charge of that team.
But did you ever hear about it?
Montagne, le média, les trois femmes, mais seulement, pas mon dit, pas mon priorité. Ça bonne jambe, pas de mon commande, ça bonne l'état, et la quelque chose pas mon priorité là. Pas
Ouais.
donner mon attention, mon appel léger quelque chose qui nous dit en créole, qui concerne moi, qui m'a dit là avec respect.
I heard about it a few times on the media, but like I said, I did not make it a priority of mine. And as we say in Creole, there are several other things that I would make a priority, but none of those things.
Okay. But would you be able to tell us who was in charge at that time if
Yes.
it wasn't you?
Yes, sir, si mon cas fait request avec commission, moi pour faire, moi pour donner tout nom pour donner.
Can I?
Yes, if I can request that, I will give every name afterward to the commission.
Okay. Captain,
Sir,
would you be able to clarify, to tell us if it was Mr. Fonseca, the person who was in charge at that time?
Minister,
Not Minister
sorry,
Fonseca.
sorry, yes. Mr. Fonseca, Captain Luke Fonseca,
Yes.
l'état ici là, c'était à son l'état, tu n'as l'autre monde pas là où les qui t'en savent.
Oh, so there was another one.
Captain
Yes.
Fonseca, when he was there at State House during those times, there was somebody else in charge of him higher up.
Okay. So you will be able to tell us the name of the person
Sure,
later, yeah?
sure, sir.
Okay. Now, Captain, I think this is my last question. On the day of the incident at Montagne Posée,
Okay.
you said you were abroad.
Yes, sir.
You were overseas.
Yes.
Were you on holidays?
No, official duty.
Okay. And official duties, who were the other people that were there with you?
Mon papa Mazina, pas de mon VIP, but on this trip, tu n'as encore dit mon nous. Anyway, normally, le temps, mon fait un official duty. Even son chief protocol, et son chief press qui assistait nous. Mais seulement mon papa connaît, on date de 6 autres là. Mon papa confirme, cause d'après, un double check. Ma va dans une commission.
I would not recall exactly aside from my VVIP that I was accompanying, but I know that every time we go on trips like this, we would have with us our chief protocol, our chief press that would assist us, but I can verify with them afterwards by giving them a phone call and ascertaining whether or not they were present with me.
Okay. Could I ask you directly, were you assisting the then president of Seychelles on this trip?
On sa jour, c'est déjà arrivé.
Yeah, on
The day the incident happened.
Oui, moi, je peux accompagner second président Cécile, président Rom Kalawan.
Yes, I was accompanying the 5th president of Seychelles, President Wam Kalawan.
Okay. So you said that you saw the incident that happened at Montagne Posée.
Mon au courant, sans l'incident,
Yes.
I was made aware of this incident.
les 5 retail métiers soient via WhatsApp. On a une vidéo qui gagne share le WhatsApp. Comme
The
ça.
5th, 8:30 p.m. Through videos that was being circulated on WhatsApp.
Okay, that's fine. So you saw it, yeah? Now, you are with the commander-in-chief. You are his head of security. Did you show him what you saw? Did you discuss with him?
Non, ça l'air qui m'a tué ça. Moi, quoi, si moi, j'ai bien fini entrer dans son ensemble.
The
Et
time
nous,
that
causé ce bon matin.
I
le
saw
breakfast.
that, if I'm not
Nous,
mistaken,
causé là, après tout, comme dans chef. Ça l'étant, on n'a pas de questionner aucun non. Il fait son ouvrage. Moi, stay away from it.
he had already entered into his chambers, but I believe that we talked about it the next morning. But in the end, he is the commander-in-chief. I cannot question anything more than that. He has his job that he needs to do.
Yeah, no, this one I understand. It's not your prerogative to question the commander-in-chief or whatever. But you see, this was a very, very sensitive operations that was going on in the country. It was a very sensitive operation that was going on in the country, and there were forces. There were forces, armed forces, going to this establishment, and still the commander-in-chief, you did not try and bang his door to tell him, sir, look, there's a problem in Seychelles now.
C'est pareil, mon Dieu, retail métiers soient les 5. Moi, tu vois une vidéo de WhatsApp. Quand un prisonnier, tu peux balancer quelque chose en bas, on va connaître quoi.
Like I
Ça qui
stated,
m'a vidéo.
on the 5th
Le
on
ban officiel la police.
WhatsApp, I saw at 8:30 p.m. a video whereby the prisoners were throwing things on the police officers at the prison.
Le président qui paye, il y a un vice-président derrière qui te couvre.
When the president leaves the jurisdiction, there's the vice president behind that takes over.
Mais seulement, soit bon matin de breakfast,
But in the morning during breakfast,
moi informe pour dire dans ça l'incident qui m'a c'est est-ce qu'il est au courant?
I informed him that there is this incident that I saw, and are you aware of
Il
it,
dit moi
sir?
oui au courant.
He said
On n'a pas
yes,
mon questionner encore plus d'informations.
he is aware, and I do not have anything more to question him about any information.
I do have one question. Supposing that your officers took part in an operation whereby people are killed, people are maimed, seriously injured, okay? What do you think should happen with such officers?
Si vous capable élaborer plus sur la question, sir.
No, it's,
Can you elaborate
On
more
va gagner
on
comprendre,
the,
c'est ce qu'a élaborer
the
plus sur
question.
là. Avec respect, please.
with respect, please?
if your officers go on an operation,
My officers.
yeah, your officers, if they go on an operation, when they are on that operation, they are involved in the killing or maiming or injuring people, what do you think should happen to your officers?
Sir, occupez du monde pour dire tu involve là.
No,
Par
I'm
exemple,
just,
maintenant,
1 minute, I'm asking you a hypothetical question. If that was the situation,
so, si tu as une situation qui si tu involve,
If it was a
one
situation
more?
that they were involved, is that what you are asking?
If they go into, if I say if hypothetical,
So
if
si.
yeah, if they were part of an operation and these things happened, what do you think should happen to such officers?
Kade mwa kesyon pou yo.
Si pas, il pas peut dire qui ça n'arrive, il peut
Puis
dire
du
un
moins
exemple.
l'exemple.
Oui, faire une comparaison comme si ça y arrivait, qu'ils ont
Ok.
été dans l'opération, par exemple, certains disent qu'ils perdent la vie ou bien il y en a qui sont blessés, qui normalement qui peut arriver avec eux.
Sa yon desisyon ki pli go, ki involve Defense Council, moun ap cancel ou la.
This
Aksyon
is a-
nesesye bi agay pou yon avek zot.
A big decision that involves the Defense Council, and I do not have anything to do with that, and the necessary action needs to be taken.
Mon si
Oui,
l'investigasyon yon gay fe, di mon zon, de mon chim, nan yon incident kom sa, otomatikman mon demon remove pou ti de mon chim.
If the investigation is conducted and they find out that one of my men is responsible for something like that, then automatically I would remove him from the team.
I will request to remove him.
Request to remove him, sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm done. I'm done.
Okay. It looks like we are done for this round. Thank you, Captain Anil Bristol, for your time. So I would just take this opportunity to remind you that you have a right not to be victimized. You have a right not to be victimized by anyone for the testimony that you have given this morning. You have a right not to have any of your family or anyone connected to you being interrogated or victimized in any way for the statements you have made today, or any evidence that you might give in future to the Commission. Now, should that happen, we also want to inform you that you have a right to inform the Commission
Through
through
the
the
Secretary?
Secretary, yes. And the Commission will take appropriate action to investigate that and hold whoever found to be in breach accountable. It is a criminal offense for anyone to harass, to victimize any witness who comes before the Commission and gives evidence. If we take the view that we need to ask you further questions, we will reach out to you
Please.
again. If you also discover that there is any information that you may not have shared with us, which is relevant to what we are investigating, we encourage you to also reach out to the Commission through the Secretary
Okay.
and ensure that we get that information. Before we because I know that there is a couple of pieces of evidence that you said you would be more, you requested to give off camera. It's okay. So what I'm going to do now is to ask everyone, including the media, to vacate. But before you do so, Secretary, could we get an indication of when the next hearing is commencing? It's supposed to start at 1. Okay. So, but it's now 8 minutes to 1.
We can get him and then start with the other one later.
Should we maybe say 20 past? Quarter past? Quarter past. Okay, so we will be back with the next televised hearing at 1:15. So now I'm going to ask that the broadcast be switched off, and then I'm going to also ask that we all vacate the room to allow privacy for the witness to be able to give the information that they prefer to give privately.